I will not get too much background on your stories, however, I'll preface a little bit about how we got here. My dad right here, he was friends with my brothers, and they were in communication when I was in Plymouth. And as the situation worsened and eventually my who was raised by all our troops from Afghanistan, there were a lot of people such as Sahil here who were stuck there, went out of the U.S. during the war and are now coming to the country. So now, without further ado, you'll all hear their stories. And I'm so happy to be introducing them to you all. This is Interpreter Sahil, Sergeant Matt Waters, and Sergeant
Good afternoon. So my name is Matt Waters, Grant Wheeler. So right now I'm just an old student at Columbia studying history, but by trade I am a Army Special Forces Engineering and Demolition Sergeant. So that's kind of just a fancy way to say that I like to build stuff and I like to blow it. So and I thought it'd be good to kind of give you guys some context of what Army Special Forces really is, because most people don't understand that. And why interpreters like Sahil are so vital and how they become so near and dear to our hearts. So when most people think of U.S. Special Operations Forces, what are some of the ones that usually come to mind? Yell it out. Yep, SEALs, that's one. Delta Force, right? Army Rangers. But very few people I know actually will bring up Army Special Forces. Sometimes people know us probably by, it's our more common name, but the Green Berets. And what makes us different from SEALs or Delta Force or Rangers is that we are purpose-built to go in, to live with, to train, to learn from, and to fight alongside our foreign partners. And as you can imagine, very important to that is the language barrier. Because there's essentially three pillars of combat, right? So shoot, move, and communicate. Probably the most important, or I would argue the most important of that is communicate. Now, as you can imagine, when you have U.S. forces working with Afghan special forces, some of which speak Dari, which is a type of Persian language, and some of which speak Pashto, we essentially have three different languages that need to be translated. And then on top of that, you add in, the craziness of combat. You can get kind of, things can get lost pretty fast. And so that's why Sahil here is kind of, he's almost a superhero. Because in those moments of, extreme pressure, he is able to, quickly translate between three different languages. And really, because of his commitment to that purpose, people like myself and Matt, we were able to come home because he was able to help us coordinate all our efforts to make sure that everybody stays safe.
All right, so I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about how we got to know each other on the deployment. And the first thing I would say is to add on that is generally it would be like myself as a Green Beret, Grant as a Green Beret, with about 15 Afghan special forces. These are Afghan soldiers. And Sahil would be with us. He would help us translate the different commands as we were going to the village or executing the mission. And on top of that, if we found ISIS or Taliban insurgents, he would then translate for us and talk to them, or within the community, to make sure that we were understanding the context that we're working in, community members who tell us where militants were living in the village, or as I'll tell you guys in a minute, where local kids, which we're going to tell you a whole host of different things about the community we're working clearing house to house. So clearing means going very tediously through a house, making sure that you understand what's in every room, what's in every cubby hole. A lot of these houses have kind of tunnels and things like that for their own safety, but for storage, especially in the winter, they can keep livestock in these like warm environments. So you really have to kind of get to know the inhabitants of that house and make sure that you're not about to hit a booby trap or something like that. So we have been going for hours, going from house to house. And it was actually in this village where the guy is wearing the ammunition around his neck. He's got the saw, I know on that gun. So the photo over to the right. And so we were pretty tired. We were starting, that's a very normal thing. You get tired over the course of the day. And as you get tired, you start to not notice as much. And Sahil had taken it upon himself to go talk to some local kids. And they had told him, hey, the Taliban told us not to go down this street. Right? And so I hear this whisper in my ear from Sahil, he says, don't go down that alley. And it looked exactly like any alley we had been down that day. And thankfully he did that because there were IEDs in that alley. Right? So if he hadn't done that, taken it upon himself to talk to kids, he wouldn't actually be here today. At least not in the same form. So we had a lot more missions after that. We did 20-something missions. And then towards the end of our deployment, the U.S. was preparing to withdraw. And so they started terminating the contracts of interpreters. Right? They didn't need them as much because they weren't deploying troops as much. And so this was like May or June 2020. And so we were sad to see Sahil go, and we kind of all left. And then Sahil and I stayed in touch. And as he stayed in touch with Grant and the guys on the team. And it became clear that things weren't going so well in Afghanistan. Sahil was sending me photos of all those Afghan special forces we worked with, but they were dying in battle. Right? So almost 70% of that 15-man squad that we had worked with died over the course of that next year, either from Taliban assassinations or from combat. And so we were starting to get pretty worried about Sahil. And then we got a very worrying text one day saying that some Taliban guys basically showed up at his school where he basically started as a teacher. And they had started threatening him and they dealt with all that stuff.
Thank you. As Matt said about our job in Afghanistan, I was interpreter of U.S. Special Forces for almost 1 year, and we have been to many nations, many provinces. So after the peace agreement that the U.S. and the Taliban had, so our missions were stopped in COVID, and I think it was 2020 May 6th that we were released. So after that, I just went back to my hometown and I started teaching again. So before going to work with the U.S. forces, I was English grammar teacher in Kabul, which is the capital of Afghanistan. So I went back to my old job. So once in 2021, I think it was February, the school guard came to me. I was in the office and he told me there was a guy, he mentioned your name and he was asking for you. He said he knows that you have worked with the U.S. Special Forces. And he said he was working with American, he has helped the U.S. forces kill our battalion. So that when he came to me, he said this thing to me it was the first time I faced such an event, that somebody tells you that, we're killing you for this reason. So I don't, I was very, very sad. I was so worried about myself and my family. So I just kept going to school. I thought maybe, nothing would happen. So it was just like somebody came to me and he just said something like that. So it's not easy to kill someone. So after that, after many days, like maybe after a month, again I was in the school. So the guard gave me a note. He gave me a letter from the Taliban. So those guys had mentioned the same same thing. Like, you know, you have worked with American forces, and you have killed our Mujahideen. So Mujahideen are the people, like, they are like a guerrilla, so they fight with the non-Muslims all over the world. I think it's a lot. So they said, like, they think that we have the U.S. forces, so we are like non-Muslims, or we are slaves to the Americans. So that's why in many missions, like many Taliban were killed. So they were thinking that I was the reason that I helped the U.S. forces and they killed their Mujahideen. So when I got there later, so it was, I just wanted to flee. I just wanted to escape from that place. You know, in Afghanistan, we had 34 provinces, but Kabul was the capital, and Kabul was the place where there were still peace. So in the other provinces, there were many Taliban, so we couldn't go to any other provinces. So I thought, like, if I leave Kabul, so where can I go? I couldn't go to any other place. So my heart was beating so fast, you know. My depression started. My study from the childhood that I had just started again. Like somebody tells you, like we are going to kill you. It's not that easy. So besides, like I was my parents' elder son. So in Afghanistan, like the women don't work, and the parents they get old. So the father, he's not working anymore, and he is old. So the elder son has the responsibility to bring food for the kids and for the family and to pay all the like the rent and everything. So I didn't have any other job. I was just graduated from high school, and all I could do was just teaching. So I continued my teaching again, but I was very afraid of those people. You know, when I asked the guy about the guy who came to that he was asking for me, so he said like the guy was having a big beard and long beard and white kameez, it's a kind of white shirt. So when I was leaving home towards school, so I was trying to change the robes, and I was trying to change the clothes. Even I talked to the principal of the school, so the principal of the school was a dear friend to me. So he said, you can come, like sometimes you can come so early, and sometimes if you come just like 1 hour later, so there won't be any problem, because the timetable that I had, I changed them like from 7, sometimes from 7 in the morning, sometimes at 8 in the morning, and sometimes very early, like at 5 in the morning. So when I was leaving home, so I was trying to change the robes. I was trying to change my clothes. Even I was changing my hairstyle. Like I didn't want them to know me, to recognize me. So it was going on, and I didn't have any other job. I couldn't escape. So after like almost 1.5 months after that, I was at home in Afghanistan. If you have watched the houses, they have very big mud walls around the houses. So I just heard some people shouting, and they were mentioning my name outside. It was evening, like it was dark. So they were saying the same thing, that you are a slave to Americans. You know, we have found you. We have found your house. We have found your address. So when it happened, I just went to block the doors. And my whole family, they were all worried about me. Like, these people have come to our house, and they know your location, even they know your place where you work. So it was very difficult for me. Like, I was talking to Matt at that time. I still remember I sent him my both kids' picture, and I told him I don't want them to be orphans. You know, I don't want them to raise without a father. So I still continued my job because there was nobody else to feed my parents, to feed my brothers. My brothers, they're younger, they are school students. And my father, he is very old and he is not educated. So, and he has problems, like he has back aches, like leg aches, so he can't work. He has stopped work like 8 or 7 years ago. So my parents, they were telling me, just leave here. We want you to be alive. Wherever you are, it's okay, but we want you to be alive. We don't want you to be killed by these people. But I didn't have any other way. I still continued my job, but I was very afraid. I was very afraid, and I was always in the depression. I was not talking to even to my wife. I just wanted to tell him, I was just telling him, like, leave me alone. I'm not in a good mood. I can't talk to anybody. What to say? What should I tell people? Like, the work that I work in the U.S. forces, now I'm going to be killed by these people because of the work, because of the service I have done. Even I wanted to serve my own country. So the U.S. forces were in Afghanistan, they were helping, they were serving our country. So what's my sin that these people are doing? Finally, in 2021, in July 12th, I got a phone call. They had found anything. Like they got my indication where I live. They got the place where I work. And finally, they got my phone number. And they called me. They said, "Are you Sahil?" I said, "Yeah." Who is this? He said, "There's no ask me who I am, but I will show you who I am once I catch you." I said, "Maybe somebody has given you wrong information. What are you saying? I don't know what are you saying." He said, "Because of you, we lost our brothers. Because of you, we lost our mujahideen. And I will show you once I catch you." So that was the direct way that I received from these bad people. So after that, in July, it was July, yeah. Like Taliban were getting strong in all our provinces. And we heard that they're coming to Kabul. So after July 12th, I stopped going to school. Because now they know everything. They have my phone number. They might have my pictures as well. So they know everything about it. If I go out, suddenly I will be killed. And these things happened a lot in Afghanistan. You might have heard about many interpreters, about U.S. forces, that they had worked with us. As Matthew mentioned before, like 70% of those people that we were together, we were doing the missions, they were killed. They were killed. Some of them were killed in the battle, and some of them were killed in the bazaar. When they are going to home, suddenly some people comes on motorbikes, and they just shoot them. There is nobody to ask them, who are you and why did you kill them? And then I just found a problem, I was always sad, so worried. And then on the 15th of August, that we never expected that what would happen. So we were the witness of those people that we were fighting against them. They came to Kabul. They came to our place. They came to our city. And then I just stayed home and I told Matthew that I cannot go out of my home. So things were young after that.
Yep. So on August 15th, the capital fell to the Taliban, and the president fled in a helicopter, and basically the forces across the city gave up. Not without fighting a lot before that point, but it was clear that the war was lost. And so we knew we needed to get Sahil out of there very quickly because there was nowhere left to go. We couldn't hide, other than completely hiding in isolation in the city. So we sent him satellite imagery the route to the airport because we heard that there was basically a couple of evacuation flights, and he got to the airport, and unfortunately his wife was pregnant at the time. He had 2 little kids, Rahila and Sahil. And Sahil is 4, Rahila is 2, and so they're pretty hard to walk around with. They can't really move themselves, they can carry them. And
Alright, so on the 15th of August, when the Taliban came to Kabul, so Mike told us to go to the airport on August when the Taliban took over. So I had applied for SIV before 15th August, but my SIV was not ready. My passports were not ready. But told me it was too dangerous to stay at home now. The Taliban was the capital, and that he would find a way to get us on a plane to evacuate out of Afghanistan. I was so nervous about my whole family, but my dad and mom told me that I had to leave now. There was no way I could stay, and that I should follow Matt's direction. So I said goodbye to my parents. I was very sad because I thought I would never see them again. On the 16th, I brought my whole family into the airport. It was hard, but we were one of the early people there, so we got onto the airstrip. We waited all day, but then there was a shooting. When the shooting started, there was a stampede of people coming at us. Asya, my wife, was pregnant and was not able to run fast, especially in her Afghan dress. So I had Rahila in one arm and Sahil in the other. Rahila is my daughter of 2 years and Sahil is my son of 4 years. So I had both of them. So I was running away from the shooting and Asya was running beside me. Then she tripped and people ran over her. So I tried to block them, but I had both kids and didn't want the kids to get trampled. Asya got up, but she had hurt herself when she fell. Later she collapsed and was unconscious. The injury, the heat, and the pregnancy made her very weak. I chose to leave the airport and take her to get medical treatment at home. My mom could care for her. I didn't know what to do with her pregnancy problems. Mike told me to be very quick. He wanted us to stay inside the airport, but I told him Asya was in bad health and needed my mom to help her with her recovery. We traveled 45 minutes by taxi back to my house. After a few hours, Asya was feeling better to leave again. We left for the airport again before the sunrise because Mike told us to head back to the airport around that time. And I was nervous about Taliban checkpoints, but Matt sent me a route and told me where to avoid the Taliban checkpoints. I was afraid for my life and my wife and children, but Matt told me the journey to evacuation had to happen now or never. At every entrance to the airport, there were thousands of people crowding to get in, and I didn't think there was any chance for my family and I to get in. But Matt told me to push him to the front and that he knew soldiers there who could assist us. I tried on multiple accounts to get in through an entrance of the airport by attempting to push and show my way in, but I couldn't do it. Matt then instructed me to walk in through the seaweed ring to get closer, and it was absolutely disgusting, but it worked luckily. We got closer to the gate. But then a stampede occurred and they tear gazed all of us. Asya had a very hard time breathing, and I kept thinking about her health and the baby's health. It was night time of that same day, and Matt sent me to a different gate with fewer people. There were less people there, but that was actually because there were soldiers there. They turned out to be Afghan soldiers. I think they were Taliban, but they didn't know who I was. They still hit me and beat me and shouted at me, "You are trying to live with Americans and you deserve to die." I was hurt and wanted to give up. I thought I would just have to die until Mike told me to go to a new gate where he knew other people. He gave me a plan. I used Rahila, my daughter's red dress, as a signal to the soldiers so they could find me. They couldn't find me in the other times. I held her up high in her dress. I was holding Sahil as well, and Asya was not in good health, so it was very hard. I really couldn't move all 4 members of my family any further. I was on the lookout for a woman with a flashlight because Matt told me they were flashing a flashlight and a woman was looking for me. So I screamed the name of the soldiers that Matt gave me. I did everything I could to grab their attention, and luckily, by the mercy of God, they saw my daughter's great grace and what was when I got their attention. I gave them the password Matt gave me, which was emergency and Matt Waters. And they let me in through a hole in barbed wire. In that very moment when the flight took off, that I was able to take a huge breath of relief, although it was a bittersweet moment. So finally, I would just say when I got to the United States here, I met very sweet people. My daughter's parents, I'm living with them. So it was my first time we were celebrating Christmas, and we received the Christmas gifts, and I with my wife and our kids, we celebrated Thanksgiving. So for the sake of my safety, my family's safety, a better and brighter future for my children, I had to sacrifice my land, my home, my parents, my friends, my career, my whole world. I left my heart in Afghanistan, not knowing what the future in America had in store for myself and my family, but I had faith in God's plans for me and the generosity of America. Since our arrival to the United States, we have all been so grateful, so happy, and have never felt safer. We can now finally live a life without fear, anxiety, and depression. Things many people around the world take for granted. Something that I will never take for granted because I am familiar to live in a lawless country where your safety is always in danger. We are so grateful knowing our new land has a future in store for the 4 of us. We even more grateful to every American we have met along our journey for guiding us, for helping us, for sheltering us. We are forever indebted and so excited for the future. Thank you so much.
At this time, we're gonna, if anyone has any questions, just raise your hand and I'll take, we have a few that were already sent in ahead of time. So right now, if you have any questions, you can ask them. We have about 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. Question?
Sir, you have a question?
Yes, so while you're trying to organize the evacuation, can you know that in every state?
Yeah. So,
Text message, communicating?
yeah, so we're using Signal as an encrypted messaging service. We were just kind of, like, basically on August 15th, we went through our Rolodex and came up with as many contacts that we could find that were helpful. Elected representatives, lawyers, soldiers, people in the intelligence community. Amongst our whole team is kind of a bunch of different folks that can help us navigate Sahil to the airport, and then once he was at the airport, make sure that he was allowed into the airport, and that obviously took a long time, lots of failed attempts. We were doing that. I was in New York City, New Jersey, at 2 o'clock in the morning, and screaming into my phone for a couple weeks, staying with Grant.
Yeah, it's important to remember that this wasn't just like a one-off event. Like, veterans all over the country were engaging in the same process of just trying to call everybody they possibly could to try and get, as many of our Afghan allies as possible.
Yeah, it was actually really touching to see just how many people came out of the woodwork. Many veterans, but others in the nonprofit community. You had all served in Afghanistan and went back we left, towards the end of the summer in 2020, and Sahil left basically a year later.
One question that was sent in, do you think the Taliban will ever be overthrown?
Actually, the Taliban, you might have seen in the television, they are not the people that they can control a country, that they will be able. So even, I just heard that. In Afghanistan, one of the soldier of the Taliban, he is going and he is knocking at the door of the Afghan family and telling them that we need bread, we need food. So I don't think they will stay around. I mean, maybe one day there will be another war in Afghanistan, and the people of Afghanistan will stand against those people. There will not be anything forever.
Question from the audience, go back there. Right now.
When did you guys like first meet each other? How long were you working together?
Yeah, so, we met each other, it would have been 2020 in January. It was mine and Matt's first trip downrange, so we were still getting our feet wet. And almost, 2-3 days after we had shown up, we had already met in Sahil along with our other interpreters. They shipped us along with those big trucks that we saw on the photos up north, and then they kicked us out the gate, and we're like, all right, go do good things. So, it's kind of crazy because it seems like almost yesterday, that, myself, Sahil, and Matt were riding around in one of those big gun trucks, but it was weird driving down here today, and we're just getting some Jeep Grand Cherokees, but it kind of brought all that back, so.
Another question, do you think the Taliban vacation and the need to evacuate will set back women, vacation?
Well, Sahil answer first.
Yeah, they say that we are, the real Muslims. They think themselves real Muslims. And they say that Islam doesn't allow women to work or to go outside. They should be kept inside. But it's not right. I'm Muslim. We have a lot of Muslims here in the United States, but they don't do the same thing. The Taliban do it. But they will never let the women to go out to work, and they will always think about the women that a woman can't be able to them. So I don't think, they have stopped many things in Afghanistan. So the schools for women are closed. The university in Afghanistan are closed. And the women that they were working in the departments, the government, they're all at home. Even they don't have any woman in their police, in the army, no. They will never let the women. They will not give the rights for women.
Yeah, I'd say the first to suffer under Taliban rule would be females within the public, and as Sahil noted, basically they've already said that women can't work in the government anymore, so women who have had jobs in the government for the last 20 years, including female judges, prosecutors, things like that, they can't continue with their profession. Within schooling, it's going to curtail, they're not allowed to go out without a male escort, raise them intimately. There are a lot of things that have already happened that are with that.
It's definitely a case, I think, in my opinion, of 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But, being hopeful, the spark, I believe, has been lit. We're seeing women show, almost extreme agency that they haven't before, actually going out and protesting, in public, the Taliban, which they never would think of doing, with the old Taliban regimes. So, kind of looking towards the future with a little bit of hope. I think that's, a good sign. But like I said, there's still a lot of suppression going on. So.
Question from the audience.
For me, it was just kind of the ability to turn my brain off, because once you're in combat, where you're driving around